at Papua New Guinea. The Orchids against the Ravens. David Tapp with you at Southern Cross Group Stadium in Sydney. Bill Harrigan beside me in commentary, as is Renee Gardner. Andrew Ryan is on the touchline. We'll go down to him shortly for his dressing room wrap. So your thoughts on the state of play in the opening half, Bill?
Well, I was impressed by Canada and the way they threw the ball around, and the way they played that rugby union ruck style close to the line, got down low, burrowed in for the lines. I just like to see PNG throw the ball around a little bit more, and with a scoreline at 10-4, it's a close game, and that's what makes it exciting.
And I think one thing that we do need to give respect for as well too is they are a group of girls that have come from rugby union, but they haven't come from the exact same team. So they've only come together this last week to play a game of football. Your timing, your communication are all things that are integral to being on an international stage, and they've developed that in a week.
Well said, Renee. You're right. Joan Koeman. To that end, the PNG squad is made up of a lot of new players too. So I guess to some extent they've had the same challenge as Canada. I think it was you that highlighted what Rowan Sim said earlier about this being a very different PNG outfit.
Yeah, and even a big loss for them between this game and the last is Amelia Cook, the fullback, who has also played for the Gillaroos before as well too. She's on the sideline with an injury, so hopefully we'll see her back for the third game.
So PNG scrambling downfield on tackle 3. Like that tackle 4. Wowler plays it. To the open side they come. And a run by Ordama.
Hold. Go, 5.
Aaron. And a little kick and some pressure for Canada. Was fielded well though by Kelsey Leavitt. And Leavitt, she was converged upon quickly by the chasers for PNG. There were several of them. Janet Michael led the charge. Now it's Andrea Burke going for a run predominantly across field. Didn't make that much ground. The tackler again was Aaron, the player wearing 5 for PNG. Does not shirk her job in any way. Leading tackler for PNG side, Michael. Janet Michael with 18 tackles in the first half. And leading tackler Burke for Canada with 13. So there's a loose ball that's going to go into touch despite... No, it didn't. Gee, how did that not go into touch?
Wow. Some great scramble play.
Happen. Papa gets to a feet to play it. And here's the clearing kick downfield. And it does a leg break and bounces back. And it's going to be a PNG penalty. Kicker didn't put the chaser onside.
Yeah, they were saying that Marchuk was in front of the kicker. But there's the difference with the kicking game too. The last 5 kicks by PNG have all been caught by a Canadian girl who's been standing back waiting for it. That kick found space, bounced an awkward way, and Canada almost came back up with the ball.
There's Delilah Ahose playing it. Back to Ordama. 3 Ravens make the tackle. They're working hard for each other. Ahose fires the pass away to Goro. Tackle made by Natalie Tam. And another. So PNG be pretty slick here as the pass comes out to Michael. Turned and flung this student inside to Delilah Ahose. So they look for more second phase. Coming into acting half now is Balhagay. Scored PNG's try in this game. Balhagay, pretty good run. She got away from the attempted tackle of Andrea Burke. But not the next 2 defenders that came swarming in. Tackle 5, they're 5 metres out, PNG. And a big chance for them. And on the outside it comes to Martha Cole. And PNG are going to get another try. Martha Cole, just 20 years of age, has also represented PNG in soccer at the Under-20s World Cup. So multi-talented sports person. The head-on angle shows you nice work out to an unmarked Martha Cole, who did the rest. 10 points to 8 in favour of Canada. So PNG rejoicing. They put themselves back into this match. The kick now to follow, all important as you look at Martha Cole. Has had a distinguished career in multiple sports.
It's just in line with me. You can go up to the line as close as you want.
Shirley Joe will now attempt the conversion. There's Martha Cole, the try scorer in jersey 15, playing on the left flank today. That's the angle that Shirley Joe is working with. None from one PNG stats with the boot today. PNG's completions, a staggering 86%. From 22 sets. Oh, the kick stabbed away. Not looking likely at any point in time without wanting to sound too harsh. Here's another replay of the try. Renee Gardner, it was lovely stuff, wasn't it?
It was great. And they said before they went in for the halftime break that they needed to bring a little bit more discipline into their game and do spread that ball out wide, because they were grinding through that middle and it wasn't really doing anything for them in the back end of that game. So it's good to see it spread out to the wings, and there's a 4-pointer.
Pass was a bit high. Martha Cole actually had to reach up above her head to pull that down from the heavens. It was a good effort. Had a bit of work to do. There was a defender coming across. As we prepare for kickoff, let's head down to the touchline. The great Andrew Ryan with his dressing room wrap for halftime.
Yeah, I managed to have a chat with PNG. Great David Wesley. He just said they want to improve defensively. They've been spending a lot of time on it the last few days, so that a big improvement in defence. And from Canada's point of view, they actually wanted a good start early in this second half. So unfortunately, wasn't the case so far.
Well, there's a high tackle on Brenda Goro.
No, wait.
The
Yeah,
number
okay,
10
when
for
you're ready.
PNG was charging back, and the referee all over that, Joey Butler. So wasting no time, not bothering to kick for line. PNG get things back underway with Christy Balhage. Ordama looking for support and found it to Jose. 5 metres into the Ravens side of the field. They've got a spring in their step now, PNG. They've fancied the fact that they're only 2 points from the lead and playing with renewed vigour. Oh my goodness, I can jinx a football team or an athlete, can't I?
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I am the best at that, Renee.
Well, we talked about, I guess, in that first 40 minutes, we started questioning PNG's, fitness levels. Canada have been really fit throughout this competition. They feel like that rest at the halftime break has really helped them out. They've come back a different team.
They did look really fatigued when they were heading to the sheds as you were preparing for your interviews.
In you go.
We've been lucky with the weather. We had a little bit of light rain for 5 minutes that didn't do anything to the pitch. And it looks like it's turned around heading back out to sea, so that's good news. Smith plays the ball. Marchak. And the ball has come out. It's now in PNG hands, and Wowler, I think you'll find it was, that came away with it. Yes, it was Wowler in 22. So opportunity here. Knocking for PNG. Cowper is the next ball runner. Jose. And again, we see Wowler, her second touch.
16 stands.
After getting the ball off the Canada mistake. 20 out.
3. 2, sorry.
Shirley Joe now to the lock. Della Ordama.
13 off the arm.
Matchek. Well,
your hand pulled it out.
Was it stripped? I'd like to see that again. So
Well, Butler said
PNG
it
gets
was.
a penalty.
That's what counts, Tabby. And away they go. Jose, quick tap.
Yes, indeed. And Jose finds support too. PNG, here's the most recent try scorer, Martha Cole, looking for another try. Trying to muscle her way to the line. Canada there in big numbers. What have the Ravens got here in defence? They're on the rack.
16, move.
And dying with the ball there.
Line. Hold,
The
go,
13,
go.
Ordama. Goro, and Goro got it away. Nice work.
Let it
Some
up,
razzle-dazzle from the PNG women.
Hold.
The
Hold.
Orchids
Go, 3.
across field. Aaron
Move now.
puts her head down and has a crack.
Line.
Good defence,
Hold.
Canada. That's
Go,
tackle number 4. If they can hold them out, it'll be a big effort. There's a couple of people out on the right, slight overlap, but the Ravens' defence was sliding. And now PNG carting the ball back to the middle. A powerful run by Joan Kuhlman. That's the 5th and last. We've got a player injured on the ground in back play who looks to be in a fairly bad way. I've got to say there was some heavy contact as Koeman came back towards the middle. I reckon he'll stop this. He has to. She is not well.
Yeah, she hasn't moved, and she copped the hit first and foremost when there was contact standing up, and then when she hit the ground, the ball carrier landed right on top of her. We'll see a replay here. Whack, there it is, and just lands on top of her.
Might be Natalie Tam, but I am speculating. 14, yeah, it is her, Natalie Tam.
Joan Koeman was the PNG girl with the ball who ended up on top of her. Not on purpose, just a part of the game.
I can't see her staying on the field.
No, definitely there's no movement after that.
As we know, lovers of rugby league, you've got 2 impacts. You've got the original and the head being driven into the ground as well, particularly with the weight of a player on top of you. Like, that's nasty stuff. We'll take a break. On that note, it's 10-8 in favour of Canada. So the trainer's taking plenty of time over the injured player, as well they have to. And they've called for the stretcher. So it was a nasty incident. She is talking, as you can see. But they won't take any chances when it comes to the neck and head region.
No, you don't.
So there's the stretcher. So at Southern Cross Group Stadium, the injured player Natalie Tam is still on the ground and a stretcher has been called for.
As we were saying, Tappy, you don't take any chances when there's a neck injury. We saw the trainer dive straight to the ground and lend support around the head neck region. And now the collar's going on. I know when they put a collar on, they usually say you have to be stretched off. They won't let you stand up. And we actually had one of those in that League of Legends yesterday with Bradley Myers, and he was all okay after being taken to the hospital and checked out. Okay. And he returned back to us, and hopefully we'll have the same result here, that it's just precautionary.
So trainers and paramedics doing their job.
See young Natalie Tam taken off here, and hopefully good news later on that she's all okay.
Yeah, I just, as it was happening live, as the ball was coming across to the open side, I just caught her laying on the ground, the corner of my eye, and she looked really unhealthy.
Yeah.
It was inevitable the game would be stopped a few seconds later. Whilst we're seeing the injured player tended to, we'll have a look at some of the highlights of the first half. It's the tries, and this is, of course, was the first of them scored by Balhagay.
There's a nice work again out of Jose coming out of the dummy half, and here we see Smith
in the 24th minute, and she backed up with another 5 minutes later from an almost identical situation.
Just wanted to show us that she could do it again.
She's a handful, isn't she? She showed that in their opening pool match here on Thursday.
Yeah, she definitely did. She's been strong the whole way through so far, and like she said, this is only her 3rd game of rugby league. So the athleticism that's out here on the field right now, we've spoken about a couple of the PNG players who have been everything from powerlifters to weightlifters to soccer players. It's amazing to see the talent that we have in our women in rugby league.
So we sincerely hope that Natalie is okay. She's 30 years of age, from Ontario. And obviously the medico is taking all the necessary precautions. And this is why, if you may have just joined us, she came up in defence the 14 and bang, her head went into the ground big time with the weight of the ball carrier coming across as well. And she also copped one when confronting the ball carrier in the first instance. So a double whammy, you'd call that.
Yeah, the arm come up and hit her in the chest, probably rising up under the chin. And then the arm stayed there, and so as Koeman came down, Joan Koeman, the full weight on top, and Natalie's probably said to them, I feel something in my neck.
So 49.5 minutes, or thereabouts, elapsed in this game. And here at the stadium, Southern Cross Group Stadium, it is Canada leading by 10-8.
Hold.
So Canada to restart play, 9 out from their own line. Andrew Ryan will undoubtedly check on the condition of Natalie Tam when we can tell you something, we will let you know. So Canada doing the hard yards. That's a great run, isn't it? So much intent in what Canada is doing. Mackenzie Fain excelling on that occasion. Matchik, there is no more willing player out there in this game than the Ravens' number 13. Doesn't she have a crack?
She's been relentless, Marchak. She's, again, with the Canadian side, we saw it when they played New Zealand. They were consistent in their defence for the entire 80 minutes. Although, obviously, you've got a Kiwi side up against you, but they're strong and they continue tackling throughout the whole time.
So, good air. Give it to the football on this occasion. Kelsey Levitt
5 tackles.
now has the football. Got a player down in back play.
What number we got, Ants? Yeah, what number is this?
Yeah, this time it's one of our P&G girls. It's going to be a...
It's all right, she's keeping the ball. Sorry? Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, the trainer's saying that this is a head injury.
Take your time, mate, it's okay.
So she'll need to come off and be checked.
It's a 5th tackle. 54-metre gain in this set.
No, we're back a bit further than that. Back here, girl.
Let's have a look at this. Marchik. Oh, yeah. Delilah Jose. Just got ahead in the wrong place. Can happen very easily in this game.
Unfortunate too, because she's probably one of the best players out there for PNG at the moment.
Without a doubt. You know, when you play mini league, coaches teach you about getting your head to the side, keeping your eyes up, straight back, driving in with your legs, all of that. But in the heat of the battle, all of that goes out the window from time to time.
It always works when you're running and then someone else runs at you.
Stand 10!
It's adjusting to the players' footwork when they're coming at you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So, Joan Cooman, like the way she goes about her work, Cooman, I'd like to see her get more football, to be honest. Explosive runner, the PNG number 2. So, not a bad set by PNG here. 5 on their own side of halfway. Tackle 3, and this is a Vero Wowler. Tackled by Andrea Burke and Christina Burnham. First receiver is Shirley Joe, inside ball. I think it's Wowler again, indeed it is, and it was well read by Andrea Burke for Canada. Got across quickly in defence. Got in is Helen Abau. A kick and plenty of pressure for Kelsey Levitt, who's made a meal of it. You'll find that PNG will get the ball back here. Golden opportunity for a 4-pointer and maybe hit the lead.
I didn't think the kick was so great. But
they had a good chase on it, though.
Why it turned out good was because of the chase, and they got there at the same time and put pressure on young Levitt. And that forced the drop ball. PNG came up with it. The referee said we will put the scrum down. So he's obviously got a double knock on, and PNG will still have the loosen feed.
We'll stay with this. We'll go down and hear from Andrew Ryan in a moment. So PNG, 25 out. Terrific opportunity. Naomi Cowper. No one at acting half. Now someone is. It was Ordama that got across there. And in the 18, it's Helen Abau. And here's Joan Cooman, the player I was talking about a little while ago. She'll go for a run, Cooman. Really athletic. And that's a good effort once again. Pinching about 12 metres. And guess who making the tackle? Marchik. Again, the Ravens skipper leading by example. That's a poor mistake, PNG. And letting Canada off the hook.
Yeah, certainly off the hook, and that's because we saw Jose, who is normally in the dummy half, and she's been passing very well off the field. And so that dummy half pass let them down.
This Mackenzie Fain's been good for Canada, playing the ball now in 16 since she came. Well, she's been very prominent anyway. Let's go downstairs, and here is Andrew Ryan.
It just goes to show how important field position is and the kicking game. Today, PNG have been parked down in Canada's area for so long, and obviously the try came off the back of that pressure, and now we see the Ravens really struggling to get out of their area. They need to finish this set well with a long kick.
Here's Burke. Just trying to say Fain has made a huge impact since coming into the match off the bench. Burnham. And guess who? It's Marchik again, and she opens them up, splits them down the middle, has got support coming too. There are plenty of PNG defenders though, and they come up with the goods when they needed to. Kathleen Keller tackled for Canada. Burnham. And now the halfback McDade to the line, a grubbing kick through. Let's see how that pans out. Not sure about the tactic really. The PNG scramble and come up with the Steeden as Martha Cole takes a hit up.
Yeah, in the end, it wasn't a bad kick. They end up getting the ball back, PNG on their own 10, and they've got to work it out. Two girls in back play, one from Canada, one from PNG were down injured. But they're both up now. Canada just about to replace one, but Canada back in possession. Petrinos
drifting across field, stepped off the left and came back the other way. Was rounded up by Carol Humau in jersey 12. Gillian Bogue. Bogue, a good carry. Tries to steamroll away through. Humau made the tackle. Marchik at first receiver, looks outside, sees Schnorr. And now Burke. Canada, they are threatening, aren't they? 54 and a half minutes gone in this game. Can PNG hold them out? Schnorr has a go. Looking for the line. Oh, how close is that? You were right in the action. Great camera work. On the sideline, there's a try.
I think he's got his lock on here.
I think you might be right.
Thank you.
And it was Janae Halpapa diving across. So PNG, they fight another day.
It was the play the ball tappy. I think he's saying that when she played the ball, she lost it.
Yeah, it's a scrum.
So Schnorr couldn't have been any closer, could she?
Yeah, Schnorr was inches short. We just saw on the replay there. Now we'll see the play the ball.
Yeah, it's a bit
loose.
It
just comes loose.
Scrum here.
There was a PNG foot in there, was there?
Yeah, there was a little bit of
that's what Schnorr was pointing out.
Yeah. Oh, well, you take the good and the bad in this.
Good game of rugby league, Renee.
Fantastic game of rugby league, but again, I bring it back to the fact the Canadians do not throw the ball out wide. They had numbers out on that left edge, but then just tried to run the ball in that and have that cheeky little short play.
Let's go.
It's worked for them before, I guess, with Natasha Smith, but unlucky on that one.
Ball in.
So the 19-year-old Elvina Aaron puts the ball on the scrum for PNG. Here's Carol Humau. She's been busy the last few minutes. Represented Papua New Guinea in Rugby Sevens competition. A number of the girls have done so, including Joan Kuman, the right winger that I've been rapping the last 10 minutes or so. Back slamming tackle by the Ravens. PNG on their own 30, play it through Vero Wowler. Now in 17, Janet Michael. Schnorr makes the tackle along with Marchik. Marchik must have incredible fitness base. She never stops. The 13 for Canada.
Yes, she keeps going. You have a look at her hit-ups too. She's 13 hit-ups, 16 tackles.
In here.
Going great work. And then on the other side, Michael and Goro are still leading a long way with their hit-ups and their tackle count.
She's a robot, aerobically, marching. Running on Duracell. So there's the aftermath. Elsie Levitt trying to control the ball for Canada. And
wait. PNG half back. Right in lock, Canada
waiting
lock.
for Schnorr to feed
ball.
the scrum.
Out.
Does so. And away come the Ravens. Now it's Natasha Smith. Can she make her way through heavy traffic? No. Her opposite number dragging her to ground, Naomi Kalpa. 54% in the game, possession to PNG. Their completion 71%.
There.
Canada's 62%.
No. High.
Canada has had 29 sets in the game.
Your penalty.
29 uses of the football.
Tap. When you're ready.
His tackles, PNG 12, Canada 8. Gillian Bogue. Hit by Varel Wowler.
Hold here, don't play on her.
And another player from PNG.
Go, one.
So coming across field, Marchik. She just loves the physicality.
Hold here, hold. Go, two.
Bogue. Good run by Bogue. Very strong carry.
Move together.
Got great leg drive. The number 10 for the Ravens. Here's Smith coming into dummy half. We know what she's going to do. And off she goes from that acting half area. And it was a good effort too. PNG saw her coming this time, they thought, and said, no chance of you coming through. Not now anyway. McDade. Schnorr. And now out the back to Petrinus. Petrinus had 2 support players on her right. Probably smart not to go with them. They were running out of territory with the sideline looming. And Snore, a little grubbing kick in behind them. Oh, it's going to come up trumps. I think it's McDade that's grabbed it. McDade for Canada. The kick was a beauty.
Kevy,
weight-wise.
just going to check the onside and then into the grounding as well, mate, please.
A great kick, Tappy. She picked the hole beautifully, put it through.
Video ref to director.
Let's
Okay,
just
can
have
we
a
go back
listen.
to the kick, mate, and freeze it on the boot? It's a live decision of try. And its last tackle's nice and slow here. Woo. Is that your widest shot, mate?
So he's checking
Thank
onside
you.
here, the video ref. So he's bringing the ball back to freeze off
Thank
the boot
you.
so he can put them all onside.
Yep, thank you. No, all chasers are on. Oh, all chasers on the left are onside. Yep. Okay, so now we need something tight on this. Right, she gathers the ball there. Okay, yeah, just want something on the grounding, mate, please.
So he'll go to a tight shot.
So just on this pickup, so nice and slow here. Okay, she takes possession of the ball. Yep. Okay, continue this on. Now we're looking at the grounding.
This is McDowd. Ball. I have no problem with
Still
this.
has possession.
See what the video referee thinks.
Still has possession. Okay, just, yep, that looks okay. Can we got something from that far corner?
It looks better than okay. It looks good.
Just to sign off on the grounding of the ball.
Canadian girls have run back. They know it's good.
Thank you. That's good, mate. This will be good. This will show it. Nice and slow. Keep going. Thank you. That will do us. Okay. Live decision. We'll try. We'll stick with that. Thanks, mate. We're going to the board.
So the ball put down on its point.
Absolutely. That did me a couple of replays ago. It's a try under the post
That's why you were one of the greatest, Bill.
to McDowd. Thank you, Renee.
So there's a try. Some game here. Canada 14 points to 8 leaders over PNG. So the halfback will now attempt to convert her own try. I refer to Sabrina McDade, the 23-year-old. Snatching it out of the air. So as we approach 59.5 minutes gone in this game, the conversion from the try scorer Sabrina McDade successful. So 16 points to 8. A lot of footy left in this game though.
Well, you were talking about Stevie Schnorr not being able to even pass the ball in the first game. All she did was run it. Not only did she pass the ball in this game, she's kicked a nice little tidy grubber through to lead to a 4-pointer.
Yeah. Now what I suggested was she could have passed it but chose not to pass it a lot
Right,
in the game
right.
a few days ago. Today she's noticeably passed a lot more.
She's getting more comfortable with the game.
She's a goer too, isn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a pity. That's a pity.
Knock
You
on,
don't
guys,
like to
knock
make
on,
an error
knock on.
after scoring points. That's inviting your opposition back into your territory. So now PNG's turn to try and convert that
Let's go.
opportunity.
Yeah, unfortunate for Kathleen Keller there. Putting pressure on straight away from the kickoff. You want to pick up the ball, and as Andrew Ryan will tell you, after you score
Lock
points,
right in.
the goal is to
Right
get
in,
through
lock.
your set of 6 and end up with good
Arms
field
around,
position.
lock. Ball
And
in.
Kathleen Keller's now
Back.
given it to PNG, 30 metres out, and they're on the attack.
Here's PNG. And Balhagay had the ball, but now Canada has it through Kelsey Levitt.
No advantage, girls. No advantage. Knock on.
Fair
In here
bit,
on the 20.
fair bit of action. Let's head downstairs and Andrew Ryan.
Yeah, sigh of relief there for the Ravens, obviously off that initial error off the kickoff, but some good news regarding Natalie Tam. She's actually up and moving, being cleared of any serious
Right in
neck
there,
injury.
Locke.
She was just
Sorry.
knocked out, so good news there, but she obviously won't
Right
be
in
back
there.
this evening, but
Right in,
hopefully okay to continue in
Go
the
again.
competition.
That's
Jumping
good
on.
news.
Let's get her head right in.
The hard
before
thing
you-
is
head
they'll
right
lose
in,
her
please.
for the game against
Yeah,
Australia with
right
a 7-day
Head right
HIA.
in.
That's if they deem it to be
Okay.
a head
Head
situation.
in.
They,
Ball.
Andrew sort of talked about a
In.
neck more there. I'm not sure. I'm only speculating.
Clean.
You're quite possibly right.
Yeah.
It just depends on the diagnosis, doesn't it? But, I mean, we did see a slam ahead into the turf, so they've got to be head issues there.
Yep. So you're
Umeu there,
above
tackling. Just lifted the Canadian player, ball carrier,
Kicking.
up above the horizontal.
Hey, kick it.
Back across field. Our Papa.
Go.
And that is very above horizontal. No
Yeah.
question about that.
Hold here.
Mandatory penalty.
16-8.
On the top, wait
8
here.
minutes remaining in the
Wait,
game.
Go.
It's a willing contest. Real grind the first 25 minutes of this
Stand
game.
together.
And Canada getting a
Hold
couple
here.
of back-to-back
Back here.
tries.
Hold. Go, 1.
Marchik knows her job and excels
22.
in executing it. A couple of metres into PNG territory.
Go, 2.
We're back here on Wednesday for round 3 of pool matches. It's underway just after
Let
1:30
us stand, girls. Here.
Australian
Wait.
Daylight Savings Time.
Go, 3.
Bogue now. She's been good. Ravens front rower doesn't take a backward step. Tackled by Della Ordama and another. And
A
they laid in
second
the
effort
ruck
from
too long.
you.
He's
Okay.
had a good game,
Go
Butler,
back
in
then. You
terms of
can't
his
push after the
consistency,
tackle.
policing the ruck.
He's been very consistent. We've now had 12 penalties, 6 apiece, and a majority of those have been for the ruck area.
Absolutely.
So he's maintained it, and that's what they asked for. Be consistent,
9.
and he has been.
In line with
And
him,
we just
9.
see now the possession. It's been going
Hold
from
here,
side to
23,
side, but it's
23.
exactly 50% each.
Here's Keller taking them on.
8, stand.
PNG up in numbers.
Hold.
Hu Mei U was
Go,
one of them.
1.
Marchik again, and offloads this time to Elizabeth Steele. Marchik tends to take them on 99% of the time.
Hold.
So Steele
Go,
to play it.
2.
Back to Burnham, and Marchik goes on yet
Yeah,
another
now!
run. That is her 16th
Go,
hit-up of the
3.
game. 16 tackles, 16 hit-ups for the Ravens skipper.
Roll out,
Good defence by
Kennedy!
PNG so
Roll
far in
out.
this set. That's
Go,
tackle number
4.
3 as Burnham picks it up from acting half. Schnorr, McDade, a dummy, and sights a gap,
Go,
pins her ears back.
tackles!
But the gap closed, the
Line.
defence came across. Grace
Hold.
Market was in
Go,
23. Here's Natasha Smith. Natasha Smith looking for try number 3.
Handovers here.
He's short.
Short. 6 tackles. Thanks, Tice. You'll play the ball there. Wait for me, but okay.
So the referee saying
Oh,
that's
yeah. Thank you.
the final tackle. We've got a cramp.
What are we?
Not unusual to see cramps at this stage of any rugby league game.
Nah, handover.
Yep,
Back here,
15
back
minutes
here.
left.
Back here, girls. Back here.
So the girls will start to tire.
Go back
Some
there,
of the
wait for
muscles,
me.
a little
Back
bit
here.
sore. They've been doing plenty of hard work, plenty of tackling.
And that's just
10,
today,
10.
understandably 4 days beforehand,
Play
they were
the
playing the
ball.
same sort of quality football
the
as
ball.
well. So it's a big turnaround for the players.
Hold. Go. Stand 13. Yeah. Hold. Milking. Go 1.
So 9 out, PNG. A big task here. Trailing by 8.
Hold.
Plenty of time left on the clock, though. If they're good enough, there is enough time. Mima Way goes for a run.
Stand together.
The 27-year-old
Hold it. Hold.
front rower to her feet. Good
Go,
tackle by
3.
Schnorr. Never shirks the job. Hu Mei U.
Well off the ball. Hold.
Honestly,
Wait.
you can't give Canada
Go,
enough
4.
raps. When you consider they come into this tournament, rank outsiders, relative newcomers
5 tackles.
to the game of rugby league.
Hold now. Hold.
Incredible effort so far in the
Go,
tournament.
5.
Not just in the scoreline, but just the way they go about things. They've got genuine nous.
Offside.
And there's a kick that PNG almost got back through Martha Cole.
You're offside 15. We're yelling out to you. You've got to stay
I'll
out
tell
when we
you
yell
what.
out to you.
Too tappy when they start passing
back
the ball
here,
around
back
a little
here,
bit
girls.
more after they're getting a few games under their belt. Because at the moment, there's a lot of union ruck play where they're just running up the ball
They're
and turning
coming.
it back
That's a
inside.
tap.
But once they
Tap
start
and kick.
firing it out the back line a little bit more too,
Yeah.
Are you going
well,
to kick?
they will go very well.
But what I like, they've got composure in
inside.
defence as well.
When you're ready.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
But no,
I just worry about
no team has it all the time.
when you say that.
Yeah, you know how good I am at that.
Something's going to happen.
Jinxing
The
stuff, don't
seas
you?
will part.
There's only been one better than me. That's the late, great Murray Walker, the legendary Formula One commentator. He used to talk about cars' reliability and then they'd blow an engine 2 seconds later.
Hold. Go. 1.
So here's Burke into the PNG
13 off the ball.
30-metre area.
Hold. Go. 2.
So Canada would love to get another one here. McDade gives it off to Natasha Smith. Big and strong. Got support with Nina Bowie. Good work, PNG. Grace Mark across in cover and drags her into defence. Or rather, drags her into touch is what I'm trying to say. It's been a long day.
And what a nice pass from Natasha Smith, too. It was a little flick pass. Left-handed flick pass out to Bowie. But there was too much coverage with defence coming across. Not enough room to work with for Bowie to get to the line. But there's Smith now in the replay. Nice one.
That was nice.
One pass and then a nice little flick pass. The left hand.
Just wait.
And so still not too much damage done turning the ball over. 10 metres out from their own line, PNG. Long way to go.
So Canada has enjoyed 69% of possession last 5-minute period.
Go. 1.
78% of that 5 minutes has been spent in their own half by PNG.
Hold. Go. 2.
So 2 tackles gone in this set. And PNG just struggling a little for metres at the moment out of their own danger zone.
Go. 3. Let us stand.
Good defence
6.
again, Canada.
Hold now. Hold. Go. 4.
Taumafai plays the ball. And Shirley Joe. She was hit by Gillian Bode and also by Natasha Smith.
Hold. Go. 5.
A couple of metres short of the halfway line. It comes with Jose now. And a kick into touch on the eastern side of the ground. You don't see much of that tactic in Women's Rugby League.
No, you don't, but I'll tell you what, that tactic's been better than what they have been with their kicking, because the other kicks have been going straight down the throat of one of the Canadian girls, and they're turning around and picking up 10, 15, 20 metres on the return. This one, at least, the ball found the ground, into touch, and they'll have a scrum 30 metres out from the Canadian line.
No, that's okay.
So Tony Butler down,
Okay.
Joey Butler, Tony Butler.
Hold.
Joey Butler down there having a little bit of a chat with the girls and a laugh. As we count the clock down, around 10 minutes to go.
Yes, and we'll go downstairs and grab a sideline comment from Andrew Ryan.
It's just great to watch this Canadian side. The confidence is just growing as this game goes on. We see it evident there, powering through the middle. This Canadian side, they're just, you can hear the talk down here at ground level as well from them. They're just so excited to be out here.
That's a good point. It's always a good indicator of a team's enthusiasm and preparation and mindset. The talk, and you've got it in bucket loads down there, Andrew. So here's McDade, and now on to Schnorr. Another chance for the Ravens. Halpapa working into the 10-metre area. Football
15,
out.
you pulled the ball out.
So
Can't strip.
a penalty by referee Butler against Martha Cole.
Yep. And who is it? We got a Papua New Guinea girl down.
Yeah, and a Ravens player down too. The Ravens player has cramp. Yeah, it was... What happened there was the PNG girl had a Canadian player fall on her head. I think it might be Balhagay. We'll come back in a moment. It's 16-8. Pretty sure it is. Balhagay.
Yep, no worries. Just keep it on my bit. Yep, thanks, Kenny. Yeah, that's right.
So the injured player here at Southern Cross Group Stadium receiving plenty of attention. Christy Balhagay, who scored the first try today. She's only 20 years of age, from the Highlands. And you have another look at it, you can see she was steamrolled. Watch for 14, there she is with her back towards the camera now, and the player fell on her. Bang, right there. And her head was sadly sandwiched between the ground and the play with the ball. That was Janae Halpapa for Canada, who was also injured in that, but not as badly. So again, we see the neck brace.
Similar situation.
Very similar.
Yep. Body weight coming down on top of the head and neck area, not moving after it. And so doing the right thing here and coming out and not taking any chances, putting the neck collar on. There it is, whack. And also
now, we had a penalty award at that point too,
I was going to say, in the same play...
I've forgotten about that, yes.
Yep, we had Carl penalised for the strip, so that's how we'll restart play.
Exactly. Seems that long ago, I'd almost forgotten how to remind myself there. O'Hagay, one try in the game. It was the first try of the match. PNG's completion still mighty impressive at 71%, as opposed to Canada's 64%. PNG has had 2 less sets than Canada. Canada's had 36 uses of the football, 36 sets, PNG 34. The missed tackles, well, PNG on the wrong end of that, 14 missed tackles, Canada's 8. As we see Christy O'Hagay being taken from the field on a stretcher. So we wish her well, and of course Andrew Ryan, our very dedicated sideline commentator, will bring us up to date on her condition as soon as he can. So, as Bill said, PNG will, Canada will restart play as the beneficiary of the penalty for stripping. Christina Burnham will start play about 10 out for the PNG line. Still 10 minutes to go. Plenty of time for more points, isn't it? Mackenzie Fain had an outstanding second half, particularly the big substitute player. Burnham. Matchek again takes them on. Never stops. Burnham at acting half. McDade. Smith ran as a decoy. Petrinos. Oh! Put on the ground spectacularly. Naomi Cowper muscling up in defence now. Megan Pakula says, stop me if you can. And charges forward. On tackle 4. Burnham. They go to the short side. Natasha Smith wants it. She can't get her hands on the football enough. We'll play it now. Pakulis. Pakulis will go to ground with the ball.
Where it is, girls. This time where it is.
And that's the end of the section. We saw some really good things in that set from Canada, but a poor end of the set.
Yeah, and what we did see was a fantastic tackle by Naomi Cowper, which motivated the rest of our other girls to say, well, if you can do it, we've got to do it with you. And they held out really well then, stopped Canada from scoring, and keep themselves in the game.
Clear now.
Here it is.
Go, 2.
That's how you do it.
And they followed suit after.
One of the other really positive signs I saw from Canada there was when Natasha Smith ran a decoy line.
Yeah,
that's starting to understand the game.
Yeah, they're definitely starting to relax and become part of the rugby league crowd, I guess you could say. But again, I'm really frustrated that they're not trying to throw that ball around a little bit more instead of taking on the line themselves.
We're sorry you're frustrated. Yeah.
16 up now.
Kathy,
take it out on them when you go down there for your end of match interview.
I'm going to bring it up.
Have a crack at them when you talk to them later. Aaron let it go, and now it's with Joe, and she in turn gave the football to Grace Mark, and we continue with good passing. Naomi Cowper was the next in line, and she was tackled on the halfway line. Now open side again.
3 now, this is 4.
I think it's Grace Mark, indeed it is, the 29-year-old. Tackled by McDade. Shirley Joe. And the kick. Here's Petrinos, who has been rock solid at the back, the custodian for the Canada Ravens. There's been a lot about this match that has been quite enjoyable to watch. Kelsey Levitt. Both sides, I've got no doubt, will continue to improve in this tournament. Can't wait to watch them in action next Wednesday. Round 3 of the pool matches. We'll head downstairs. A comment from former premiership winning NRL captain Andrew Ryan.
Yeah, just watching it again, PNG, the last play options, and you identified Petrinos there, Tappy, and she's been on the job all day, catching the ball on the full. I really think that's been the difference out here this afternoon, especially in the second half.
That was nice work. The pass fell a little short, but it worked out okay for them. But unfortunately for Papua, she gets bundled into touch. There was some snappy passing there, some nice ball movement on the inside.
Good passing. They're starting to do that more, and that's the two things that they can take out of this game. The Canadians can turn around and say, righto, we've got our act together in the middle really well. We're tackling well in the middle. We're taking the ball up the middle. Let's start passing it out so they can do that. On the PNG side of it, they need someone to go there and just say, righto, let's look at the end of our set of 6 and let's start to get our kicking a little bit more tactical. And if they can both do that, they'll improve immensely when they come into next Wednesday's games.
Expert
now,
comments from the legendary Will Harrigan.
Wait till the out call.
I'll tell you who put her body on the line in bundling the player in the touch there was Carol Humeu, the number 12 for PNG with the coloured hair. She drove in there like a torpedo.
Thank you,
It's
mate.
incredible.
Lost ball.
We might try and have a look at it
Lost
again
ball.
at some point. It was an amazing
It's your
tackle
scrum, yeah.
on a bigger player.
Scrum.
So referee's going to put a scrum down on the PNG 40.
This is what I like.
Together, girls. Right in there for me.
So
Nigel,
Petrinas.
please. Yep. Come in a bit, please. Yep, in a bit. Yep. Right, ball now. In.
That's the hit by
Got it.
Naomi Cowper's big hit there. We're back live now, Tappy.
We are indeed.
12.
Petrinas.
Hold. Go.
Arthur Carl involved in the tackle along with that lady I was referring to, Humeu. So Canada standing and delivering a pass. This time it's Papa, the Alberta-based player.
Go, 2.
Gets to her feet and plays it. Now running away is Andrea Burke. Runs into 3 PNG players. 16-8. 5 minutes remaining in this second round clash between Canada and PNG. Papa. Very busy in this half particularly. The defence there led by Aaron in jersey number 5. Also in the mix was Helen Abau. Open side they go. Schnorr to McDade. And now to Petrinos. They've got an overlap. It comes to Natasha Smith. They won't stop Natasha. Not from close range. And she gets another World Cup try.
You know, I thought they had to throw this ball a little bit earlier, but when you give it to Natasha Smith, it doesn't matter. Big and strong. And just takes the defender straight over the line. Here we go. Here, have a look at these long passes. This is what we were talking about with the Canadians, if they can start doing that. And then that last offload to Smith, just too big, too strong, goes over.
Yeah, the shape of PNG in defence there, not great. They were quite compressed. And the head on sees Petrinas the line. Nice offload. No stopping the left centre for Canada.
And the hat-trick. That's the hat-trick, isn't it? For Smith.
And if memory serves me correctly, she scored the other day. I could be wrong. Don't quote me.
Never admit it, mate.
So the kick coming up now. And Petrinos, she played a major role in that try. She went to the line, had the defence committed, presence of mind to offload, and the rest you saw. Irene Petrinas, 24-year-old from Ontario. And she moves in now from wide out, about 9 in from the eastern touchline. Looks okay in flight. It's better than okay. That is a screamer. Irene Petrinas, a beautiful kick. On the sideline, Andrew.
I think if there's one piece of play that the coaching staff can show his team through the week in the lead up to next week's games, it'll be that clip. Their shape, their width there was super impressive. It actually reminded me a lot of the Gillaroo side, the quick passing from 9, 6, 7, 1. It was really good to see, and that'll, again, give them more confidence heading into next week's games.
I think equally, I think you make a great point. I think equally, the Orchids coach, Dennis Mile, if he wants to show a clip on how not to defend on your own line, it'll be that, because they were too compressed and they didn't adjust to what was going on with the football.
Well, that
You're offside
little
anyway
piece of
as
play
well.
was just a debacle because we had about 2 players a mile offside, and I think
Back to the
the
red
young
one.
lady about to kick it noticed that her players were already overrun her, and she was deciding, do I kick it or not? and the ball only went 5 metres.
Mackenzie Fain, another powerhouse charged by the number 16.
Hold. Go, 1.
PNG have been gritty,
No marker here.
but just lacked the finesse
6, move.
in attack and composure in defence sometimes. McDade. Here they go again. Natasha Smith wants more of the footy. She is a weapon over there on the left side. Here's a Bowie, and she got the pass away to Megan Pakulis.
23
Pakulis a couple of metres out from the line. Can PNG hang on this time, or they concede Canada's 5th try, and it's been spilt. A rare mistake by Stevie Schnorr, the Ravens skipper, who's disappointed in herself, but gee, give yourself a break. You've played a great game today.
Yeah, but she's just probably wary of the comments that you might make. If she does something like that,
She's wary of the comments you might make.
No, she's been playing well all day, so we'll give her that with only a minute to go.
I'm a Schnorr fan.
I know you are.
She's very wholehearted.
Out.
Her and Matchek are the nucleus of this team in effort.
Yeah.
Stand up.
In the middle, in effort.
Do as I say and do as I do.
Go,
And the
1.
weapon out wide in Smith.
Absolutely.
16 up. Hold.
So centre field.
Up.
I was going to say, Tabby, this is probably a fair indication of this game too, of the scoreline 22-8.
Yeah, I think so. I think it very much reflects the state of play. And an error there, a bit of a mix-up involving Hu Mei U, Martha Cole in 15 ended up having it.
Scrum, your feet.
I love Carol Hu Mei Hu's hair.
Here we
That's
come.
incredible.
Yeah.
Very innovative.
And that probably decision there's probably the only
Come together,
one
girls.
that I'd question Butler on.
Locks
I
right
thought
in
the ball
for
went
me.
back. But at this stage of the game, with only 19 seconds to go,
Right in there, Lock. Ball in.
Yeah, I think the
Out.
referees carte blanche in the tournament so far
Yeah.
have all had good
Lock on
games.
here.
They have.
We're gonna swap-
There's been
swap
nothing
feet.
controversial,
Nothing
really.
Yeah, she knocked it on at the back of the scrum.
no, it's all been
Back
good.
a bit, girls.
He's
Back
just
a
found
bit.
the knock on now too with the
Sorry,
Canadians
mate.
at the back of the scrum, so it'll be a PNG ball, I think.
Thank you.
No, all the referees have been going really well.
And that's all
that's
she
it.
wrote full time here. And Canada gets its first Rugby League World Cup victory in history. Big win over Papua New Guinea. PNG, they stuck to their guns. They tried very hard. And obviously they'll have a chance to make amends here on Wednesday with round 3 of the pool matches. For Canada, it was 4 tries, 3 goals from 4 attempts. And they are understandably delighted with that.
We are big crowd. You would have think it's like a grand final, isn't it? Canada 22, Papua New Guinea 8, and they're celebrating.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that game. And, you know, you can see the improvement in both teams versus what they produced day 1 here on Thursday.
Put that performance by Canada into the game against New Zealand in game 1 now and say, right, come out and play us now, and I bet you got a different result.
Certainly. Different scoreline.
Different
anyway,
scoreline.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. We'll head downstairs to Renee in a moment. A quick word from Andrew Ryan before he knocks off for the day.
It was so great to see all the officials and the other players running on the field to congratulate this Canadian side. They just play with so much joy. They're really loving being a part of this competition. And, you know, for PNG point of view, whether or not the clash last week took a lot out of them, hopefully they can bounce back next week. But a really entertaining 80 minutes here this afternoon.
They're capturing the imagination of fans. Canada have done a really good job in the tournament. And look, they would have come here with the attitude, what have we got to lose? We